Welcome back to your lofty station, where we disseminate the best of information to you. And then you have to remember one thing: information is key, and that is our duty. On this segment, we're going to deal with a factor that affects us all. If there are 3, 4, 5 people standing to have a discourse, the discourse is going to border on the redesign of our Naira. To some people, it's a good and lofty idea. To some other school of thought, it's like, what does the CBN mean in doing this? They are so surprised, they are so flabbergasted. But I will tell you this: for every move, for every endeavor, there is always the plus and the minus. There is always the advantages and the disadvantages. And honestly, in the studio this morning, we have somebody who is going to give it to us as it is. The advantages, we will hear. The disadvantages, we will hear. And you, our viewer, we're going to give you a chance to chip in too and be part of this discourse. But for starters, let me introduce to you our guest in the studio, my brother Sukana Danjumatusha. My brother, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Honestly, like I said, we are going to tap your brain. But you be rest assured, we won't tap it dry.
That's all right. That's all right.
My brother, the news is out there.
Yes.
Everybody, most people don't know what is happening. A sizable percentage of Nigerians do not know what is happening.
Right.
Close about over 50%. Those in the rural areas, in the ungoverned areas, they don't even know anything they see, they spend. We're now talking in terms of the maybe lower class, the middle class, the elites, those that know funds, those that have the money. How many Nigerians really have money?
That's right. That's right.
And basically, those are the people that are doing the talking.
Some do not even understand what it means.
And that is it.
Yeah, because they just say Naira redesign.
Give me the money, I go and spend.
That is
what
it.
They know.
As simple as that.
But let us take it from the level of economics.
Yeah.
Because if you factor in this fact that the Minister of Finance said she wasn't taking along when CBN went ahead with that, the CBN governor responded by saying, my organization is autonomous, and as such, I take my orders from
the president. That's right.
Isn't that let's start from there before we cascade down. Isn't that bad record?
Well, you see, it's really not good enough for the Minister of Finance, who of course is the coordinating minister of the economy, to come out or to say that the ministry wasn't carried along in the whole of this issue of the redesign of our currency. So it's really not a good thing. In fact, a lot of Nigerians were shocked when the minister... Of course I was. Of course I was. One of those Nigerians that... if the Ministry of Finance, will not be carried along in this kind of idea, very, very serious issue like the redesign of our currency, then I think it's not a good thing.
Okay.
So despite the fact, the element of being autonomous as a CBN claim?
Well, you see, the CBN governor or the CBN came out to, respond to that statement by the Minister of Finance, to say that they are autonomous. But that is quite true. But being autonomous still doesn't mean that the Federal Ministry of Finance should not be informed, at least to be in the know that this is what we are intending to do. This is what we're intending to do, and we have already made our intentions known to the what? To the President and Commander-in-Chief. We have made it known to him, and he has given us his consent as the President and Commander-in-Chief.
Within that period in time when she said it and then the CBN governor responded.
Yes.
Do you think we should be looking at a case where there's a synergy now as we speak, because it has taken a few days between when both parties were playing two sides of the field and now? Do you think there's a synergy now?
Well, don't forget, after she came out to make that statement, and the CBN also refuted or responded to what she added. At the end of the day, we also had another statement coming out from the presidency.
Yeah.
A statement also came out from the presidency saying that the president has given his full support. Has given his full approval. So I believe with that statement coming out from the presidency, both sides would have reconciled, will have no, that's just, they don't have any choice. If the father of the nation, who has the final,
bringing the two of you together, go and walk along this
and at the end of the day, in a system like this that we are practicing in a country where we are practicing this kind of system, the buck stops at that's just the issue.
There's no way around.
Now let's now come to the issue. To a layman, like I said earlier, many do not understand what Naira redesign actually means. What does it mean to redesign currency?
You see, based on international best practice or global best practice, it is expected that the central bank of a country, changes the face of its currency at least every 5 to 8 years. It's a global practice everywhere. So it is not a kind of new thing for a central bank or maybe an absurd. It's not something absurd, something strange, for a central bank to come out and say that we want to give some kind of new face or facelift to the country's local legal tender, which is the local the Naira now in this country now. So it's not a new thing, but there are quite a lot of. So when we say, just take example, use companies for example. Now, if you look at companies that are in the manufacturing industry, for example, if you take Peak Milk for example, you discover that once you keep from time to time, some of these companies that are into manufacturing just do what we call rebranding, in order to address the issue of counterfeiting. Because once you continue to offer a particular product in the same shape, in the same manner, and what have you, for a very long period of time, counterfeiters come in and say, now, these people are making a hell of money, and I think this product is really in the market. So what we will do now is we will give them a shocker. And at the end of the day, what do? They now go to counterfeit that particular product. But when you allow them, suddenly you just come up and rebrand that particular product, you will discover that.
You really advertise it so that the consumers will know that we've changed.
We've changed everything about this particular thing. Anytime you see a product that doesn't carry this particular feature, just know that it is not the original. Then you discover that those counterfeiters are going to have a very, very bad day, because they must have invested all their monies in these illegitimate business.
Let me corroborate what you're saying.
Yes, please. Yes.
With some facts and figures.
Yeah.
The CBN came up with the fact that they wanted to mop up 2.7 trillion, 2.73 trillion.
I think close to 3 trillion.
The system that
is unbanked,
which is about 87%.
Of the money in circulation.
That is a very, very high figure, 87%. And to allude to what you said, we are trying to get rid of bad money, black money, which is what we call counterfeit.
That's right.
We're trying to get rid of bad money, then we're trying to do a lot of other things. But along this line, let's ask ourselves some straight-laced questions.
Yes.
Good as it is, this will enhance security because maybe ransom monies that are being kept somewhere that they can't spend easily. They say the money will die there, or they will find ways of bringing it back into the system where we can flag and apprehend them. But at the same time, to the average Nigerian, I'm talking about the illiterates.
The illiterate, sure.
That do not have what we call this electronic banking, do not have easy access to banks. There are some people that will live about 20, 30 kilometers from the nearest bank. Once their parents or their kids or grandkids come back home, they send them cash. When they go back for holidays, they give them money, or they tell somebody, when you get home, give my mom money. All she does with the money is eat, trade, sleep. Eat, trade, sleep. Before they hear about this, it's going to take some time.
Sure.
How do we approach these people? These people that are uneducated, if they have a phone, their phone is not a device, it's not an Android that can do business. How do we get to them? How do we save them from losing their money?
Well, I think that is a very important thing. And when I look at the whole issues surrounding the redesign of our currency. I thought by this time, the government should have put a kind of mechanism in place to ensure that people everywhere, particularly those in the rural areas we are talking about, are informed that this is the intention of the government, no cause for panic, no cause for alarm, but this is what you are expected to do. Ensure that none of these currencies, the old ones, that these particular ones, particularly I think it's about 200 Naira, the 500 Naira, and the 1000 Naira. These are basically the three denominations that are to be redesigned based on the information we have. So I think the government, there should be serious publicity, particularly at those levels, so that people can be informed, people can be aware, and ensure that those particular monies are returned to the bank on or before that particular period, that they will cease to become a legal tender in the country. I think that's very, very important. Otherwise, at the end of the day, you look at somebody in the village, a mother that just had some money sent to her, trying to manage that particular money. Maybe she doesn't know, and that money has been given to her. She wants to manage that money for a particular, not knowing that after so and so, I think by 15th December we'll begin to see, then 31st of January 2023, everything stops, and then we know.
On this note, let's just take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Before we went on that short break, you must have listened to us attentively, trying to decipher the redesign of the Naira with our brother here, who is still here with us, Sukana Danjuma Tusha. Honestly, we've employed him this morning to be our educationist, and we're going to learn from him and then get some good things out of it. Like we said earlier,
yes,
we want Nigerians to participate in what we are saying.
Sure.
Because shortly our phone lines will be opened, and when they are opened, I can tell you one thing for free. Nigerians are very, very articulate, and we really want to share the experience they have.
Sure.
And what I believe is you are up to it, and then and with us here too, we should be up to it to make sure that we educate Nigerians about the pros and the cons of this redesign. As much as it has to some school of thought. My own school of thought, I believe in it totally.
Of course.
To some school of thought, they don't like it one bit. Because I believe those are the people with the black money.
Sure.
Because we are trying to change them. They don't like it. Now we're back to where we were before in terms of the rebranding of our Naira notes, which is the concern of everybody. We've been able to talk about loads of advantages, but honestly, there are a lot of disadvantages too. We still have with us in the studio my brother, Danjuma Tusha.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that patience. Now let's look at bits and pieces of the disadvantages. And along this line, so that I can get our viewers prepared. And to you, our viewers out there, you can call in so that you can share in this discourse so that it becomes a national discourse. The number to call is 0803 615 8767. I repeat myself, 0803 615 8767. We are here waiting for your own opinion so that we can digest and do a lot of things together. Now, my brother.
Yes.
We're trying to look at some of the disadvantages here. Some school of thought. Oh, it seems somebody is on the line. Hello? Hello? Good morning, my brother. Your name and where you are calling from, please.
I'm from Asokoro.
Your name, please.
Hello?
What is your name, please?
My name is James from Asokoro.
Your name, you are from Asokoro, but what is your own name? Let us know you.
James, I'm James by name.
James from Asokoro.
Yes, sir.
What is your own opinion about this element of rebranding our own Naira?
Maybe network. Just continue. Cut the call.
Like I was saying, there are a lot of disadvantages too when we talk about this time.
Yeah.
Some school of thought are saying, because of what we are doing, our Naira is depreciated. There's a kind of devaluation on it. And everybody is basing that on that element of parallel market, where the Naira has now gone as far as low as 900. And people are saying, before December, this might culminate into maybe 1,000. We are not forgetting one factor, that there are some people with black money that they cannot afford to bank, that are creating this. But let's hear it from you, from the idea, from the angle of an economist, somebody who knows what is really happening. Is this call, is it genuine or fake? The idea that Naira is getting devalued.
Well, you see, from an economic perspective or point of view, once demand for something happens to be high, certainly what happens at the end of the day, just take for instance now, because of this redesign of the currency, some individuals who have this Naira note, the current Naira note now, who have it stuck somewhere, will now want to convert them, particularly to foreign currencies now.
Okay. Because they can't get it back into our banks.
They can get it back into our banks because there are certain amounts of money based on federal government or Central Bank of Nigeria's policy. There are certain amounts of money that once you are taking such to the bank or wants to withdraw such from the bank, then the government must have to be involved.
You get flagged.
That is the issue. Because that amount will be too large for you to do that.
It calls for a lot of questions. Where did you get it?
A lot of questions will come up and what have you. So one of the things that will happen at the end of the day is you will now see that individuals are trying to. So there is now a very high demand for the foreign currency now. And there is no way when the demand for that currency goes up now, then what happens now? The price of that currency will go up, meaning that the value of our Naira certainly will keep going down. As we speak.
It seems we have a caller online. Hello and good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Mr. Ben.
Say that again.
Mr. Ben.
Ben. Your name is Ben. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lugbe.
Lugbe. Ben from Lugbe. You must have been listening to what we're saying about this rebranding of our currency.
Yes, sir.
What is your own opinion? What is our angle of thought? Is it good or is it bad?
It's 100% good.
Thank you. What have you seen in it that makes it 100% good?
Come again?
What did you see or what did you notice that is making you say it is 100% good?
Yes, because a lot of our money has been stolen by some politicians and some...
Why must it be politicians are stealing?
That's it, right?
The kidnappers, what will happen? When they change this money, they put it back down. So, meanwhile, those soldiers that have stolen this money, it will not be used the food for them anymore.
Thank you very much, Ben, for that your insight. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hello? Can we meet you? Your name and where you're calling from? You are Tony. You must have been listening to the program.
If they have questions too, they can ask.
You. Okay. Do you have any question to ask this? Okay, he's gone. Yeah, all he wanted to make was to make his own point and go.
That's all right.
Hello, good morning. Can we meet you, your name and where you're calling from?
Network. No, this is when they call. Well, there's a question I've been meaning to ask.
Yes,
in 1984, there was this Naira redesign.
During the Buhari's administration.
And the major reason then was that is to curb money laundering.
Yeah.
So can we say this is the case? Because in this administration, this administration is focused on fighting corruption.
Well, let's be candid. The redesign of the Naira notes will certainly be a step in the right direction towards the fight against corruption, which of course is one of the major mantra that I remember before this current administration came in. One of the things the president has even said to the whole world was that if we don't kill corruption will kill us. Of course, that's a very, very, that statement has gone very, very viral, per se. So when you look at it in this particular dimension, certainly the redesign of the currency is another way of fighting corruption. Because what that simply means is that individuals will now know that once this new currency comes into being, all the monies they have in, but another issue now is that, which is my major fear now, is that some of these individuals that we are talking about that must have acquired these monies illegitimately may end up using these particular monies in another way, since they know that they cannot take it to the bank, trying to bring back the unbanked system into the bank now, which is one of the major goals or objectives of this redesign. Now, let me tell you one of the things, my major fear, particularly for the common man. My major fear for the common man is that if these monies now are used particularly to purchase, let's say, food commodities, to hoard them. And this is very, very possible. These monies we are talking about now, certain individuals who know that these monies cannot be taken to the bank can contact business persons. And of course, business people can take any amount of money to the bank because we know that they are businessmen, we know what they do. So when you now go, for instance, and begin to buy all sorts of food commodities in trailers, in trucks, and what have you, and now hoard these particular food items in order to just make away or do away with those cash that you have down. Do you know what is going to happen at the end of the day?
The food will go back.
The prices later will be beyond, and look at even the rate of the inflation as we speak now. So, the issue of addressing inflation, which is also one of the reasons behind the currency redesign, that particular objective may be defeated.
It seems we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Can we meet you? And where you're calling from? Your name again? I didn't hear your name.
6-2s.
6-2s. Okay. You must have been listening to us about this element of rebranding our currency. What do you have to say to that? Or if you have any question to ask our guests, just go ahead, do it.
Actually, I think doing that, it will be very good. I'm supporting the motion.
Oh, good.
Motion that the partner has housing, container, I believe they will bring it up. So I think doing that is the best.
Thank you, 6-2s. Now, a lot of Nigerians share your own idea too. Thank you very much. Nigerians are with this idea that they keep money.
I think it's all about those who have stolen money. They will not have opportunity to spend their money.
All of us know that our monies have been stolen and kept somewhere.
Sure.
There was even one that I saw where some shots were taken off huge amount of money with Oceanic Bank wrapper. Oceanic Bank became defunct 11 years ago.
Right.
Can you imagine how much bad those people are doing to our economy?
I also saw that clip on social media.
It's a bad one.
It's a very,
and you were
very
saying
bad
something now that you said, okay, what happens if these people are going to buy commodities?
That is what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm even saying maybe you are the one advising them. Because most of them do not even have the sense. Even if you make that huge amount of money, why, if you have the sense, why will you keep it in a septic tank?
Right.
Why will you go and keep it in the overhead water tank?
Right.
When there are businesses you could do.
You could invest
that most of them don't even have any business.
That's right.
No business.
That's right.
It's one of the things that is taking us downhill.
And you know, if you look at it, that's one of the reasons why you will see sometimes that as bad as corruption is for any society, as bad as corruption is for any society, but you will still see the common man will tell you that I wish.
Oh, another caller is on the line. Hello? Can we meet you and where you're calling from? Can you lower the volume of your television set? What's your name?
Okay.
James, you called earlier. Okay. Now that you've heard what we're saying, what do you think about the rebranding of our Naira? If you have a comment, let's hear it. If you have a question, well, let's hear it. Who is pushing Nigeria to the road?
The government is pushing Nigeria to the road because when you go to the market, when you carry 10,000 to the market, you can't see anything where you can buy with the 10,000.
Okay, I understand the angle you are calling from. Okay, you listen to our guest, he will decipher that for us. Thank you very much. What he's saying was what you said earlier.
Yeah.
That this sequence is creating inflation.
It's creating inflation. That's right.
10,000 to the market,
you will not see.
You cannot see it. You cannot see it.
You know, and that's the reason why, as good as the idea of the Naira redesign is, as good as that idea is, a lot of people have, you know, gone against it based on the timing. Because many people believe that what should be the focus of the central bank of Nigeria is how to ensure that Naira regains its value at the moment. That is one of the things Nigerians were expecting to see from the central bank. You know?
Are you now saying that the timing is wrong?
For many people, let me tell you, don't forget this is not, I recall the last time the Naira was redesigned, don't forget, was during Olusegun Obasanjo's administration in 2002. That was the last time the Naira was redesigned, in 2002, which is exactly 20 years ago now. Exactly 20 years ago.
Which shouldn't be in normal terms.
Which shouldn't be in normal terms, because I earlier told you here that based on global practice, global best practice, every 5 to 8 years, the local legal tender of a country is supposed to be redesigned.
Thank you. Let's take another.
So that means it has taken too long.
It has taken too long even.
We have limited time.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I guess you have heard what we have said. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Mohammed Ali. I'm calling you from Abuja.
Okay. Kindly ask your question or let us have your own idea about this rebranding of the Naira.
Yes, my own is just a contribution, you know.
Go ahead. Make it fast.
I fully in support of the Naira redesign.
Okay.
Okay.
The big line, the kids that we have in Nigeria, more especially those bandits that are in the bush, which are used to, kidnap people and demand for ransom. So ensure that if they are in sort of a good amount of Naira, which by the grace of God, after this Naira reservation, their bush money.
The money will be mopped up. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much.
Okay, your final word. We have limited time.
You see, my final word, even for that singular reason, security particularly, which is a very, very important factor. I think everybody should support the issue of redesign, because you can hear many of even our callers, wonderful callers. The last one said, even if it's to render those monies in the hands of bandits which were collected by way of ransom, after kidnapping and subjecting people to trauma, even killing some of them, so those are. So I think it is a very good idea.
Thank you.
My producer is already calling me to wrap.
To round up the time is up. To you, our viewers, one program is not enough for us to do this. We shall do this on a regular basis to keep you informed. And to our guest, my brother Denjuma, I would like to say thank you.
Thank you so much once again for having me.
And for my co-anchor,
I always say one thing: keep hope alive. Nigeria shall be great again.